Bro.
Hey, man.
Shitcoin, dude, Shitcoin.
What?
Did you download Shitcoin yet? Right now, prices are extremely low and expected to increase exponentially.
What is it?
Well, you can own part of the coin.
Oh, so like money? Like I could buy oranges.
It's like money, but I read some articles on it. It's accepted in like 4 restaurants.
Wait, what is it again?
Well, let me get my friend. He's the one who got me into it. Okay, so it's a cryptocurrency.
Yeah, he said that.
And there's articles.
Yeah, I know.
And everyone's gonna get rich.
But that's the logic of any economic value. If someone likes one thing and throws money into it, it'll grow. Like if people get bored of shitcoin and decide that a rock is a form of value, that rock could cost more than shitcoin.
But it's untraceable.
You know what? I've had enough. Why can't anyone give me a clear answer?
I am Shitcoin. Dude,
Holy shit!
the newest currency and soon heir to the throne of money.
Okay, why do I need to know about you?
Do you see my robe?
Yes.
Don't you want to get rich?
Not really, no. Not if no one could give me a clear fucking explanation as to what's going on.
Okay, listen, I hear what you're saying. I get it. You're upset. But did you or did you not read the articles they sent you?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. We are talking about shitcoins today. Everybody loves themselves a little shitcoin, and you know what the biggest you know what the biggest shitcoin of them all is? Well, that's Bitcoin BTC, of course. And do you want to know why? Do you want to know why? Well, we'll get to that. You know, we'll get to that. Follow me on dlive.tv/collinenstad. Building and following there. Let's reach out to the non-crypto folks there. Just get the reach out. Spread the good word of peer-to-peer cash. Right. Anyways, so yeah, let's get into it, shall we? If you're on Periscope, what's up? I think if you comment on Periscope, I can see your comments. I'm watching all of these chats going on right now. I am way too all over the place, but we make it happen. So yeah, we'll start here. A really cool new thing. Vin Armani, he was on my show. I think it was a week ago. It might have been 2 weeks. But anyways, he was on my show. Super awesome guy, Bitcoin Cash developer. He did the first sports bet on chain with Bitcoin Cash, and so he just got it coordinated through Twitter, and basically he did a bet with Steven, and there was an oracle, as in somebody that can basically confirm the results of this game. And here's the transaction that it went through. And as you can see here, it might be a little small on your screen. Let me just zoom in a little bit. So these are the funding transactions right here. I have to duck a little bit there. But yeah, they both threw $19 at it. And then they're from different addresses. And then whoever won the bet, they got both the bets. And so these outputs are to the same address. So it used check data sig, which is only on Bitcoin Cash right now. Super cool. It is, what's up, Wax? I see you on Periscope. It uses check data sig, which is only on Bitcoin Cash, and that was new since the last fork. And so this is also the same thing that local.bitcoin.com uses for their escrow. So it's completely trustless and super awesome. So on to the next thing. If you didn't know, CoinSplice has their new live show. You can call them my competitor if you want, but like, whatever. It's CoinSplice. We fucking love Coin. Everybody loves CoinSplice. If you don't like CoinSplice, well, something's wrong with you. So, anyways, they had Vitalik on for their first show. Quite the superstar because of his comments about using the Bitcoin Cash blockchain as basically a data layer for Ethereum, because Ethereum can't scale and Bitcoin Cash can. So, and then I kind of want to just go into highlight from this. And so this is my favorite part of the episode. So let's watch it real quick.
Good morning, I'm Mike in Space with your daily mempool report. Well, not a lot of surprises today. We're seeing a gradual increase in the transaction backlog as we climb into the mid-200 satoshis per byte. Now, we have been tracking a few potential events that may cause congestion later in the week, such as this pop tweet. We used 3 rocket ship emojis, which is a very bullish indicator, guaranteed to create a lot of FOMO buys. And of course, Bitfinex just printed another 2 billion tethers that will surely pump the price, create a lot of on-chain activity. So you're going to want to get your sell orders in before the whales wreck you. And of course, Coinbase is still not bashing those f***ing asshole sons of bitches. Thank you, Peter.
So yeah, thanks, Mike in Space. I'm gonna use your mempool weather report because it's freaking awesome. It says me and CoinSpace should associate. Yeah, we do. We work together. It's just different. I'm a little more independent, so can do what I want. But yeah, no bad blood between me and CoinSpace. That's for damn sure. So yeah, gotta love Mike in Space, our new mempoolologist, if you can say that. So hopefully he keeps us updated so we know how the forecast is looking, because the only coin in the whole crypto space that you need to predict what your transaction fee is going to be is somehow the biggest one, and that's BTC. But it's great info. Thanks, Mike. Speaking of this guy, he's great. He's awesome at price predictions too. You cannot prove this price prediction wrong. Bitcoin will hit 20K before it hits 100K. And if that's not a good price prediction, well, I don't know what is. And so Ethereum 2.0 will finally ship someday. But until then, they're going to use Bitcoin Cash. And back into what we're here for, of course, is peer-to-peer cash. Shout out Bitcoin Cast.
Gold, coin, and jewelry. They're accepting cryptocurrencies. They take Bitcoin Cash, and they even have Make Bitcoin Great Again hats. So I got this Make Bitcoin Great Again hat, and I bought it with Bitcoin Cash, and that's how we can make Bitcoin great again. Use it as cash and promote merchant adoption. All right. See you, everyone.
Make Bitcoin great again. That's what it's all about, people. That's what it's all about. It's a great hat. And then, of course, a Chad Bitcoiner carries around Bitcoin Cash accepted here stickers because he's always onboarding. That's what a real Chad Bitcoiner is. So, if you want to know what the Bitcoin BTC people are up to, well, they're looking for panties with lightning bolts on them. So, so you know what's better than being a Bitcoin BTC maximalist? Well, it is being a no-coiner. And so this was a great article by Bitcoin.com's Jamie Redman about ignoring crypto Twitter and life as a no-coiner isn't that bad. And so, of course, this kind of goes over just the ridiculous things BTC people say. It's looking like the last chance to buy a Bitcoin oil price under 5 digits. And then, of course, all the rocket emojis like our mempoolologist, Mike in Space, goes to. Oh boy, we'll see if this works here. I just saw something come in. Maybe not. That did not come in. Thank you for the donation. I got a $5 Bitcoin Cash donation. Thank you. I did see it. I'm not sure what's up with it. I'm not sure what's up with tipbitcoin.cash. But anyways, everybody's favorite no-coiner is definitely carbon-based, because he just calls out the bullshit. And so here's just one example. Inside the twisted mind of a man who discovered Bitcoin 6 weeks ago, and this is kind of our transition in here. This guy, Russell, he's the NFL football player who all of a sudden is like obsessed with Bitcoin, because Bitcoin Twitter just like loves him, so he like loves him back. I don't know, it's freaking weird, man. Anyways, he's convinced that the woman that we will see who was talking in front of Congress is Satoshi Nakamoto. So he got into Bitcoin 6 weeks ago, but that's kind of his take. And also, if you didn't know, dollars are now racist. The USD is racist. Example A. Racist white dude who owned black slaves is on the $1 bill. So, if you didn't know, the USD is racist. So, let's get those guys. And so, yeah, let's kind of get into our main topic here about shitcoins, right, shall we? So, this is kind of what started it all off.
A lot of background information about Bitcoin and about the immutable distributed ledger and the benefits of that, decentralization versus centralization. A lot of people in this space will use a phrase that you may be familiar with. There's Bitcoin and then there's Shitcoin. Are you familiar with that phrase and what people might mean by that?
I am.
So could you elaborate on how people would differentiate the two?
Absolutely. I think the idea here is Bitcoin has had a long track record. The network has been operating for 10 years. The Bitcoin network has been tested. The decentralized nature of the Bitcoin protocol has been tested. People have tried to co-opt control of Bitcoin source code and push it in certain directions that benefit their business models. And this network and this protocol and its open source governance have withstood that test. It is robust, it has been tested, and it has had the benefit, frankly, of spending its first 5 years in its nascency, sort of operating in this environment of innovation and not having a lot of regulatory attention.
Is there a central...
All right, so I just want to, I'm going to go through this a couple times probably, but she says the first 5 years. So just listen to how she says this.
5 years in its nascency, sort of operating in this environment of innovation and not having a lot of regulatory attention.
So she says the first 5 years were full of innovation. So if you want to do the math here, Bitcoin started in 2009. 5 years later is 2014. And guess which company was founded in 2014? Can I get a block stream in the chat? Can I get a block stream in the chat? All right, block stream. It was block stream.
Is there a central authority that could dilute the value of Bitcoin?
No.
Is there a central authority that could filter transactions at Bitcoin?
No, that can only be done through the products and services that people utilize to access the network.
Like Coinbase, for example.
Absolutely. That is a U.S. company that is regulated based on the facts of what its business model is.
Right. And so just like in the U.S., the Federal Reserve or the Treasury doesn't change the dollar. The people at the edges, the banks generally do that. But with Bitcoin, you can still engage in peer-to-peer transactions like cash, correct?
Absolutely.
And because open source code, you could have a wallet, correct?
Absolutely.
All these features are different than many of the things that people call colloquially shitcoin.
Colloquially shitcoin. And so this Mr. Davidson guy, so I'll back up here, but so did Bitcoin maximalism just go mainstream, right? Because Bitcoin for shitcoin, right? And that's how somebody in the U.S. government has now defined all of cryptocurrencies, that there's Bitcoin and now there's shitcoin. There it comes. Thank you for the Bitcoin Cash. But yeah, and so BTC is Boomer Coin. And if you didn't know the Boomer meme, he loves Monster Energy drinks, especially the white flavor. And so this was Mr. Davidson earlier in the trial. This is not photoshopped. This is him.
Right point. And if you
Fucking
at
Boomer.
Facebook or the Libra Association,
Fucking Boomer. So BTC is still the Boomer coin. Anyway, so what the heck is a shitcoin? What is a shitcoin? And so shitcoin.com, they're pretty up to date on what a shitcoin is. But like, yeah, they should really be careful about using the word shitcoin in public because they have a legal team and they have more countries than they have money. So be very careful about using the word shitcoin. Otherwise, they'll come after you. And what other things does shitcoin.com do? Well, they do reviews. Andreas Brecken is the guy. And look, they did a 4-part series on Lightning Network. Wow. Also Tron, EOS, IOTA, which is supposed to be like the Internet of Things coin, but they you can't even use it for Internet of Things. And so, yeah, just be careful out there. Be careful about all the shitcoins. And so let's like kind of get into what the heck is a shitcoin, because that was a very one-dimensional view that guy had, is Bitcoin versus shitcoins, right? And obviously shitcoin is a very negatively connotated term, right? And so this is random. I literally Googled what is a shitcoin and some things came up. So number 1, creating hype for no reason. And so this kind of explains for itself. 2, a wild price ride. So pumps and dumps. Okay. Step 3, all development ceases. Step 4, losing all value. And so we'll go into like the Urban Dictionary definitions, very technical. And this one says a crypto of little to no value. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. That notification came before my Electron Cash one did. Wow. Look at that. Usually late comer to the Bitcoin craze, a copycat currency. This is kind of my favorite. Shitcoin, a cryptocurrency with no utility or unique features, aka there's nothing special about Ripple. It's a shitcoin. And so this is like my kind of the one I get down to. I made my own little kind of list based on the first one. And I say, well, it has no use case. 2, like it creates hype for no reason. I think that's a great way to do it. 3, development stalls. Like ceases, yeah, is kind of more a concrete thing, but we'll just say stall. Like there's not much going on, right? It's hard to use and it pumps and dumps. I mean, but like obviously kind of everything in crypto pumps and dumps. So you could call all crypto shitcoins based on some of these. But like, so 1 has no use case. And so I guess you could, as far as when it comes to Bitcoin, BTC, I found a really good way to get rid of my cash level change. Spam Collin when he talks. I can set a minimum on tipbitcoin.cash. So if you spam me too hard, that's what I'm gonna do. I'll put a minimum on. But yeah, so as far as here, let me get this definition up to the side while we go through all this. So, all right, maybe a good old notepad, right? Good old notepad. And so, let's see, has no use case. So, oh my God, there's a 2 cent. Jesus Christ. I'll go and do it. I'll change my minimum. He keeps coming like that. Has no use case. So, I mean, if you think digital gold is a use case, sure. Like a store of value. But I kind of did this in my episode with Vin, how a store of value isn't really like a use case, right? Like, I mean, it's more of an investment there. So, I mean, you could call it investment, but you can really use that for like any coin, right? I mean, I don't think that's unique. And kind of going back to the Urban Dictionary definition, no utility or unique features. Yeah. Is there a way to turn Electron Cash sound off? Noties off? I don't think that one's coming through, actually. Anyways, thank you for that $5. I really do appreciate that. Sometimes they don't come through. We're working on the bugs, but I do. If you do donate, I do get every transaction. So that's why I keep my Electron Cash open. Creates hype for no reason. And so this is kind of the fun one I was going to go into. Creates hype for no reason, you say. Well, I know a guy. You can literally just scroll through this guy's tweets. And if you didn't know who this is, well, I don't know how you ended up here in the first place. This guy has 250,000 followers. Pomp. He shows up on like CNBC all the time. But like, it's just rocket fuel for Bitcoin, cut interest rates, print money, Bitcoin reward halving. That's just like a summary of his podcast. There's just some, this is the dumbest one I've ever seen. The big question is now, which global superpower? Thank you, Saber Nerd.
Now nipples.
Not nipples. What is the minimum for a nip slip? I wonder. How here you go. There's a nip slip for you. Thank you. I do appreciate that. But this is hype for no reason if I've ever seen it, because like, who the hell would adopt Bitcoin as a country when the shit goes up and down 10% in a day? That just makes no sense. And then of course you have his cheerleader. Which global superpower admits to adopting Bitcoin first? If any admit, then the price will go crazy. The price will go crazy. We'll go crazy. Oh boy, here comes the tips now. What's one coming through?
Plop.
Plop. But this man is the hype man, right? Bitcoin is for sale under 10 grand right now. And it's like, it's literally hype for no reason, right? It's just, I mean, I could literally just like scroll through his entire feed and just like example after example after example. Here you go. Here's him talking on CNBC.
Of the asset is what makes it so compelling to people, and we're seeing that kind of play out right now, and it's really highlighting the beauty of Bitcoin.
I mean, think of the Winklevi. I mean, after that movie, it's like, you guys should just go away and keep your 50 million or whatever. But they didn't. And Tyler's quote, I read that and I said, that sums it up. And his quote is that, I read it earlier.
Mathematical framework, yeah.
The mathematical framework. It has nothing to do with politics. It has nothing to do with devaluing a currency. There's nothing, you know, no one can Bitcoin be regulated? How would you regulate Bitcoin?
Yeah,
I don't see how it can.
There's two components, right? You can regulate the ownership, so they could ban the outright ownership of Bitcoin. They could say that it's illegal for what India's done, right? It's illegal for financial institutions to support crypto companies, right? Kind of cut off the dependency on the legacy financial system. You can't change the monetary policy. You can't change the algorithm that governs the asset unless you have over 51% of people agree to change it. And that's just not going to happen. And so I think that what we're seeing is Bitcoin itself has grown in such a decentralized fashion that it's just too big to fail at this point.
Nothing is too big to fail. Literally nothing is too big to fail. If that doesn't like sound like a Ponzi, if this guy isn't like the Ponzi like fucking cheerleader, and so all of this only applies to BTC because it doesn't work as cash anymore, right? And so because of the transaction fees. I mean, if you don't know, like fucking just look at this transaction fee right here. Okay, it's kind of a weird thing, but this is a log chart. I will go linear, so it's a little easier to see. But for the majority of Bitcoin BTC's life, the fees, as you can see right here, it's a little small. Let's see what zoom in will do. Helps. It's kind of strange, huh? But yeah, it's been about like a couple cents, right? And so when I first noticed the fees going up was about here, 2017. It basically hit $1, right? And then all of a sudden, thank you for the follow, my guy. That is a follow from DLive, by the way. But yeah, I mean, Bitcoin transaction fees hit $30 at one point. And so this type of activity that we saw in 2017 cannot be predicted, and it cannot be guaranteed that it will never happen again, but it can be mitigated by doing something like raising the block size. And so going back to why BTC is a shitcoin. And so let's go back to what some things Meltdown says.
Here is Bitcoin has had a long track record. The network has been operating for 10 years. The Bitcoin network has been tested. The decentralized nature of the Bitcoin protocol has been tested. People have tried to co-opt control of Bitcoin source code.
People have tried to co-opt control of Bitcoin source code. And who in the heck could she be talking about? You know, like who in the heck tried to co-opt the source code? Was it Gavin when he was like the lead maintainer and was pushed out? Was it Mike Hearn when Bitcoin XT? Was it everybody else? And so Hodl everybody's favorite lightning cat, just posted about the Bitcoin not shitcoin moment. Adam Back says, LMAO. That's a classic. He's not wrong. Shitcoins actually more right than 30% of the crypto market. And so what he's referring to here is that Bitcoin dominance, the market cap, that was really loud, thank you. The market cap of Bitcoin is 65%, basically rounded up to 70%. So he thinks everything that's not Bitcoin is shitcoin. Thank you for that donation, by the way. No need to not come up. In hindsight, he says we should also thank you at the New York Agreement for providing the test that helped them explain Bitcoin prevailing over and proving its decentralization, trying to change Bitcoin to benefit their business models. Hashtag UASF proof of decentralization. Hearings like this about control is he freaking does. Here's a good quote.
Bull market moon Lambo ORGTFO.
Damn right. And so UASF is no such proof. All it proved is how much power our Bitcoin and world cryptonet had at the time to convince users that consensus meant nothing if devs could create an end run tool. And so Adam Beck is obviously the CEO of Blockstream. He says, and I kind of summed it up on my own words, by winning against one side, we prove that Bitcoin is decentralized. Danny Patrick says, my girlfriend says you're a good looking man. Well, your girlfriend is a good looking woman. And of course, and so like the whole business model thing, the whole business model is where it really got to us, right?
People have tried to co-opt control of Bitcoin source code and push it in certain directions that benefit their business models.
And so if you want to know what business model Blockstream is doing, let's just head to their website. Actually, you know what a better one is? You know what a better source? AXA, the investors of Blockstream. And what does Blockstream do, you ask? Well, their technology is side chains. their business model is literally side chains. And so who was really co-opting Bitcoin for their own business models, you may ask? Well, I think it was you, Adam Back. I think it was you. So yeah, decentralization, if you want to call a movement that has its own fucking title, if you want to call that decentralization because you sell hats and a lot of people bought your hats, sure, my guy. And again, I guess you could say they never actually changed Bitcoin because it's a block size. But they did co-opt it in the sense that no new features were made to get rid of the fee problem. Okay, Mr. Steel Government. Hey, you already know. Thanks for tuning in, guys. And so, yeah, we'll kind of go through this again.
And this network and this protocol and its open source governance have withstood that test. It is robust, it has been tested, and it has had the benefit, frankly, of spending its first 5 years in its nascency, sort of operating in this environment of innovation and not having a lot of regulatory attention.
Is there a central authority that could dilute the value of Bitcoin?
Is there a central authority that could dilute the value of Bitcoin? And it's kind of a weird question, right? Because I mean, anybody can dilute it, and I think what he really means is that can anybody print more money, print more bitcoins, I should say, to inflate it, to dilute the supply, right? And yeah, I mean, if all the miners agree, and it's like she's kind of not telling the whole truth, but she's like simplifying it down, which is okay. But like, there's a possibility all these things can get changed if the miners agree on it, right? And so that's just kind of a nitpick.
Is there a central authority that could filter transactions at Bitcoin?
No, that can only be done through the products and services that people utilize to access the network.
Like Coinbase, for example.
Absolutely. That is a U.S. company that is regulated based on the facts of what its business model is.
Right. And so just like in the U.S., the Federal Reserve or the Treasury doesn't change the dollar. The people at the edges, the banks generally do that. But with Bitcoin, you can still engage in peer-to-peer transactions like cash, correct?
No, you can't, bud. Because with cash, it's basically free to hand somebody a dollar bill. With Bitcoin BTC, that is not possible. If you want Bitcoin in cash, just use Bitcoin Cash. Like, people are sending me $2 non-custodially through to Bitcoin.cash. You cannot do that on Bitcoin BTC. So therefore, I classify Bitcoin BTC as a shitcoin because it is the most expensive cryptocurrency to use. If you put a new person onto Bitcoin BTC, they will be turned off immediately when they try to send it from one wallet to another. You know what? You probably wouldn't even tell them to do that. You would probably just tell them to download Cash App and just hodl on there because there's no transaction fees on there. And then so we're going to keep it nice and short today. We'll probably wrap it up here soon. But I will be streaming later on DLive. I do have, don't go anywhere yet. I'm not done yet though. Don't go anywhere yet. And this is what you can expect being a Bitcoin maximalist. Mental clarity instead of gymnastics. Ability to see how fiat destroys anything good. Altcoiners growing angry online, but apologetic in person. And so this is like, who's the angry one here? I mean, I'm angry because Bitcoin sucks now. Yeah, but I'm going to be angry in person too. I'm not going to be apologetic to you. Like if Jimmy, I mean, I bet you if Jimmy Song, I don't know if he probably doesn't know who I am, but if I go up to him and start talking, I bet you he runs away like that if I ask him anything about the fees, anything. You want to know why? Because I says, yes, because high fees on BTC will bring mass adoption is definitely not mental gymnastics. Yes, high fees and mass adoption do not go together, Jimmy Song, and that is not mental clarity. And then, of course, he blocked me. And so in honor of this, I have a special presentation for everybody.